Alright, Remy from the LUGheads once again back at it with the Ironclad this time. Yet again facing the Timekeeper. And I have a really interesting build going on that has been very entertaining. Let me see if I want to upgrade any of these real quick. Going into him, I think probably a Clash would be best. Now the reason why I'm a little hesitant about whether or not I'm going to win is because, as you can see, I only have 9 cards in my deck. I have Dropkick, Thunderclap, an extra copy of Thunderclap, 2 copies of Clash, Flex, Rage, which is my only way to gain block at this point, is that whenever I play an attack this turn, I get 6 block, another copy of Dropkick, and dual wield so that I can make multiple copies of other cards. Now the way this works is that once I get Thunderclap running on an enemy so that they get vulnerable, Dropkicks become free to play because they give me an energy when they're played, and they draw an extra card. So as long as I have not made multiple copies of Clash, and I have my copies of Thunderclap, and I've used Flex and Dual Wield, so long as I have the energy and the ability to keep playing cards, this will keep cycling, and I can gain a ton of block by constantly attacking. That's going to be a little bit difficult with the Timekeeper because you can only play 12 cards before your turn is unceremoniously ended. I do have Ice Cream, so energy is conserved in between turns, so if he does end my turn and I have energy, at the very least I will have more energy to make sure I get those 12 cards played. I have Threaded Needle, so I start each turn, or each combat with 5 plated armor, so I'll have 5 block unless he destroys it. Every 3 times my deck is shuffled, I gain 2 energy, which can also help with the Ice Cream Cone and snowballing energy. Every time I play 3 attacks, I gain 4 block. I do have a Lizard Tail that is not used, so if he does start hurting me, at least I'll be able to recover once. Enemies that are vulnerable, which is how my entire build works, take 50% more damage rather than 25, and then all this started because I got a Pandora's box. Okay, let's see how it goes. 12 turns to get synergy going. Or 12 cards. Let's go ahead and start out with Rage. Flex. I don't want to make multiple copies of Clash or Thunderclap, so I'm not going to mess with Dual Wield right now. Just going to toss out Thunderclap and Clash to get a little... well, no, I'd have to make multiple copies of Clash. Alright, well this will give me some block going. That's enough to make sure I don't take any damage. Still have 7 cards I can play next turn. Or is that 5 cards? That's 5 cards next turn. Alright, well, I'm going to need to play Dropkicks, and I'm going to need to play Thunderclap in order to get that block cycling back around. I suppose I could stop playing, okay, so... yeah, alright, so my turn ended there. I suppose I could stop playing Rage. He's going to do 33 damage this turn, so I'm definitely going to drink that potion. And just go ahead and play it cautious. He is vulnerable, so Dropkick will start working. I need to get Rage out, and I can play 12 cards this turn, so I'm going to make multiple copies of Dropkick. That way I can cycle more cards through. Alright. There's one more copy of Dropkick. So now I've got Thunderclaps again, which I could save and just play the Clashes. At this point, I do not have enough blocks, so I'm gonna play the Clashes. 1 more block. Alright, so that's enough to not take damage. I'm only gonna be able to play 3 cards next turn, or 1 card if I play both of those, so I'll take the 3. And no damage. I think that's the better bet. 27 damage. Alright, let's toss out Rage. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna need to attack if I want any block. And that'll end my turn, so let's... well, I'd have to Dropkick. And turn ended, so I'll have 5 energy carrying over. It'll do a respectable amount of damage. Alright, so I can do 12 again. Let's weaken him, or make him vulnerable. That way Dropkick will cycle. There's another thunderclap. So at this point, the cycle ends, but I can play clashes. And I've already got him down to 124 health. Just as a precaution, I'm going to drink this. Alright, so I can play 4 cards this turn. Alright. Let's do the thunderclap. Yeah, at this point. And turn's going to end. So he's not going to attack, but that's alright. He's going to heal himself. But now I can attack. Or at least play 12 cards again, so... Did not get any drop kicks, but I can sure as hell clash like a motherfucker. And that brought me up to only taking 2 damage. Pretty solid. It's vulnerable. Get some drop kicks. There's rage. Let's do another drop kick so I can play 1 more card. And it would have to be the dual wield. Make multiple copies clash again. Well, at least he wasn't attacking. Ooh, 60 damage again. Have to make him vulnerable. Drop kick. And that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. That'll probably use up my lizard tail. Almost. Oof. Did I get? Nope, don't get it. And he's not vulnerable, so we're not gonna get any cycling. So flex, drop kick, and then play the clashes. Which actually will almost kill him. And then he'll kill me. And then I'll use my lizard tail. Alright. Rage. Thunderclap. And clashes. Well, wait, no, I would have clashed, but turn's over. Whew! 2 health. Drop kick. Clash. And you're dead. Oh man. That was really satisfying. I've been trying really hard to make a Ironclad build that has very minimal amount of cards. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it to reduce the amount of cards you have in your hand so that it almost perpetually cycles. This is the closest I've ever gotten to a perpetual cycle. Obviously it wouldn't work against the Timekeeper, but there is a card I've been building towards and I've just never been able to get the synergy for. Let's look at the compendium. Card library. It's one of the gray cards. Scroll. There's all of the silent cards, blah blah blah. One of the final unlocks for the silent, by the way, was this grand finale. It's very difficult to get a build around it because you have to have a very small amount of cards or very predictable draws. But as long as there are no cards in your draw pile, you can do 40 damage to everybody. Which, if you can get a very small hand, or at the very least maximum draw of 10 cards, so this is the 10th card, you can guarantee that you'll always be able to play Grand Finale, which is amazing. Alright, deal 3 damage, draw 1 card. While the damage is very insignificant, if the only cards in your discard pile are Flash of Steel, you will infinitely be able to play Flash of Steel. Because it will always draw 1 card, it costs no energy to play, and it'll do 3 damage and discard itself and just keep going back and forth. So, trying to build around an exhaust deck where you can exhaust all of your other cards and just have copies of Flash of Steel was my main goal. Didn't work out in my favor, but I ended up with that vulnerable and dropkick build, which was pretty fucking fun. You know, I definitely relied on the lizard tail, but kicked his ass. Alright, just quick little video to have a little fun with that. Remy from the LUGheads signing out.